Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that often celebrates flawless outcomes, the pressure to achieve perfection can be overwhelming. Many of us are conditioned to believe that success is synonymous with perfection, that anything less than flawless is failure. This belief can lead to anxiety, self-doubt, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. But the truth is, perfection is not the goal. Effort, not perfection, is what truly drives growth, success, and fulfillment. Striving for effort over perfection allows us to embrace the process rather than obsess over the end result, which opens the door to greater learning, improvement, and personal satisfaction. Perfection, by its very nature, is an elusive concept. It is subjective, often unattainable, and ultimately leaves us feeling dissatisfied. The pursuit of perfection can become paralyzing, making it difficult to take the first step or to keep moving forward once we started. We may become so focused on achieving an ideal outcome that we become afraid of making mistakes or failing along the way. In contrast, focusing on effort shifts our attention from an unattainable standard to the actions we can take right now. It's about showing up, doing the work, and being consistent. When we focus on effort, we free ourselves from the unrealistic expectations of perfection and embrace the reality that progress is made through persistence, trial, and error. The importance of effort over perfection becomes clear when we consider the learning process. Every skill, every new endeavor, and every challenge involves a learning curve. In the beginning, we are not going to be perfect, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's necessary. It's through our efforts, through our willingness to try, fail, and try again that we gain the experience needed to improve. When we prioritize effort, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes and learn from them. Mistakes are not failures, they are stepping stones to mastery. Perfection, on the other hand, demands flawless execution from the outset, which leads to stagnation and fear of failure. When we value effort, we begin to see progress as a journey rather than a destination. Each step, no matter how small, contributes to our growth. Success becomes less about reaching a perfect endpoint and more about the incremental improvements we make along the way. Every time we put in the effort, we learn something new. Sometimes we discover a more efficient method. Other times we learn a valuable lesson about what doesn't work, but each experience moves us closer to our goals. This process is not linear, and it's rarely perfect, but it is always forward motion. The key is to keep going, to keep putting in the effort, even when the outcome isn't perfect or immediate. Moreover, effort allows us to remain adaptable and resilient in the face of challenges. Perfectionism tends to be rigid. It creates a narrow view of success and can lead us to become frustrated or discouraged when things don't go according to plan. Effort, however, is flexible. It allows us to adjust our approach, explore new ideas, and keep moving forward even when obstacles arise. It encourages creativity, resourcefulness, and problem solving. When we prioritize effort, we cultivate a mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities to grow and adapt. Each challenge becomes a chance to apply ourselves in new ways and to learn something valuable regardless of the outcome. Another significant advantage of focusing on effort over perfection is the impact it has on our mental and emotional well-being. Perfectionism often leads to burnout, stress, and a sense of inadequacy. The constant striving to meet an ideal standard can make us feel like we are never good enough, no matter how much effort we put in. When we shift our focus to effort, we reduce the pressure we place on ourselves. We no longer feel as though we need to be perfect to be worthy or successful. Instead, we can celebrate the work we've done, knowing that the effort we've put in is what matters most. This shift in perspective can lead to greater self-acceptance and a healthier, more sustainable approach to our goals. Effort also fosters a growth mindset. When we value effort, we acknowledge that our abilities are not fixed but can be developed over time through hard work and persistence. This mindset is essential for overcoming obstacles and achieving long-term success. It allows us to embrace challenges knowing that we have the capacity to improve and grow. In contrast, perfectionism can create a fixed mindset where we believe that if something isn't done perfectly the first time, it's not worth doing at all. By prioritizing effort, we open ourselves up to continuous learning and growth, understanding that mastery is a process, not a product. In our relationships, focusing on effort over perfection can lead to stronger, more genuine connections. Perfectionism often creates unrealistic expectations of ourselves and others, leading to disappointment and frustration. We might hold ourselves to impossible standards or expect those around us to do the same, which can strain relationships. But when we value effort, we recognize that people are constantly growing and evolving. We appreciate the effort that others put into their relationships, even when things aren't perfect. We understand that everyone has their own struggles and imperfections, and we're more forgiving as a result. Effort-based thinking creates empathy and compassion, fostering a sense of support and understanding. When we embrace effort over perfection, we also cultivate a deeper sense of fulfillment. Perfection may offer temporary satisfaction, but that satisfaction is short-lived because it is always based on an external standard that is difficult, if not impossible, to meet. Effort, on the other hand, provides a sense of intrinsic reward. We find meaning in the work itself, in the progress we make, and in the dedication we bring to our pursuits. The effort we put into something becomes its own form of success. It's not about achieving an ideal, but about the satisfaction of knowing that we gave our best, learned along the way, and made meaningful progress. Ultimately, the pursuit of perfection can hold us back, keeping us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and frustration. Effort, however, propels us forward. It allows us to embrace the process of growth and improvement, to celebrate our small wins, and to acknowledge that progress is not always perfect. Effort is what drives success, not the perfection of the result, but the dedication and perseverance we bring to the work. When we focus on effort, we create a sustainable path to achievement, one that is filled with learning, growth, and fulfillment. Adaptability is one of the most essential skills we can develop in life, particularly when faced with challenges. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan or prepare, things rarely unfold exactly as we expect. The ability to adapt to changing circumstances is a fundamental aspect of human resilience and success. When faced with difficulties or setbacks, those who can adapt are often the ones who not only survive, but thrive. Adaptability isn't just about changing our actions, it's about changing our mindset, our approach, and our responses to the world around us. In the face of adversity, adaptability allows us to adjust our expectations and navigate through uncertainty. It's easy to become rigid when things don't go according to plan. We may find ourselves stuck in frustration, replaying scenarios in our minds or wishing things could be different. However, the ability to adapt requires us to let go of what we expected and embrace what is. Adaptability teaches us to work with the present reality, not against it. By accepting that things might not always go the way we envision, we allow ourselves the flexibility to adjust our course and find new solutions. This ability to adapt is particularly important because challenges don't always present themselves in a predictable or straightforward manner. The challenges we face might not be the ones we anticipate or plan for. Whether it's an unexpected health issue, a sudden change in financial circumstances, or a shift in our personal life, these events often require us to pivot quickly and reevaluate how we approach our goals. Adaptability allows us to look at these situations from multiple angles, to explore alternative solutions, and to remain open to the possibilities that arise in the face of change. One key component of adaptability is the ability to remain calm in the face of uncertainty. When things aren't going according to plan, it's easy to panic or feel overwhelmed. However, adaptability involves staying composed and being willing to adjust our mindset. The more we practice adaptability, the more we learn to navigate life's uncertainties with a sense of confidence and openness. Instead of being paralyzed by fear or frustration, adaptable individuals can remain focused on what they can control, knowing that they have the capacity to adjust their approach as needed. Moreover, adaptability requires a certain level of humility. It involves acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, and sometimes the path we've chosen might not be the best one. When we are adaptable, we are more willing to ask for help, seek new knowledge, and change our methods when necessary. This humility is essential for growth. If we are too rigid in our thinking, we risk missing out on opportunities to learn and improve. Adaptability encourages us to keep an open mind, to explore new ideas, and to be receptive to feedback that can lead us to better solutions. Another vital aspect of adaptability is learning from experience. The more we face challenges and navigate through them, the more we develop the ability to adapt. Each experience teaches us something new about ourselves, our preferences, and the world around us. By reflecting on past experiences and considering what worked or didn't work, we become better equipped to face future challenges. This learning process enables us to approach new situations with a greater sense of awareness and insight. We can draw on our previous experiences to make better decisions and avoid repeating past mistakes. Adaptability also involves being proactive in anticipating change. While we can't predict every challenge we'll face, we can develop a mindset that prepares us for inevitable shifts. This might involve cultivating skills, seeking knowledge, or simply being open to new ideas and perspectives. By being proactive, we make it easier to adjust when change occurs because we've already built a foundation of flexibility and resilience. We don't wait for change to force us into action. Instead, we anticipate it and use it as an opportunity for growth. In relationships and in the workplace, adaptability plays a critical role. Both environments require constant change, whether it's through evolving expectations, new team dynamics, or shifting market conditions. People who can adapt to the changing needs of others and adjust their communication style, work habits, or approach to problem solving are often more successful in maintaining strong relationships and achieving their goals. Adaptability fosters collaboration and understanding as it encourages us to be more empathetic to others' needs and perspectives. By remaining open to new ways of working with others, we create more harmonious environments and increase our chances of achieving shared success. Furthermore, the ability to adapt is not just about external circumstances, it also involves adjusting internally. Sometimes the biggest barriers we face are our own limiting beliefs, negative self-talk, or fear of failure. Adaptability involves recognizing these internal obstacles and adjusting our mindset to overcome them. It's about developing the mental flexibility to let go of outdated thoughts and beliefs and replacing them with healthier, more productive ones. This internal adaptability is just as important as adjusting to external circumstances because it enables us to approach challenges with confidence and a positive outlook. The more we embrace adaptability, the more we realize it's not a trait we either have or don't have. It's a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened over time. Like any skill, it requires practice, patience, and a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones. When we approach life with an adaptable mindset, we allow ourselves to be more creative, resourceful, and innovative. We stop seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to try new things, learn, and grow. Adaptability is about embracing change rather than resisting it. Life will always bring unforeseen challenges, but those who can adapt are the ones who can turn adversity into opportunity. Adaptability allows us to continue moving forward, even when the path is unclear. It gives us the strength to adjust, evolve, and thrive no matter what life throws our way. It's a mindset that helps us navigate the ever-changing nature of the world with resilience and grace. And in doing so, we become more capable, confident, and prepared for whatever comes next. Life often presents us with challenges that feel overwhelming, as though the difficulties we face will never end. During such times, it's easy to become consumed by the weight of the situation, to feel like the struggle is endless and that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But one of the most powerful truths we can hold on to during challenging times is that challenges, no matter how difficult they may seem, are temporary. They may feel insurmountable in the moment, but they will eventually pass. Understanding this simple fact can provide us with the strength and perspective needed to navigate through adversity. At the height of a struggle, it's hard to imagine it ever ending. The problem can seem too large to overcome, and the journey toward a solution may feel long and uncertain. However, the nature of life is such that change is inevitable. No challenge, no matter how significant it seems, lasts forever. Time has a way of healing, of allowing us to move beyond the issues we face. Even the most difficult situations, whether it's a personal loss, a professional setback, or a health issue, will eventually give way to new experiences and opportunities. The realization that challenges are temporary does not diminish the difficulty of the situation, but it does offer hope. It serves as a reminder that what we're going through right now is not the final chapter of our story. Just as the seasons change and the days pass, so too do the challenges in our lives. What may seem like an unending storm will eventually subside, and we'll find ourselves standing in the calm, stronger for having faced the tempest. When we understand that challenges are temporary, it helps us put them into perspective. Instead of being consumed by the weight of the moment, we can see the situation as part of a larger narrative. There's no problem in life that doesn't have an expiration date. Even the most difficult of circumstances, when viewed from a broader lens, are often short-lived. This knowledge can give us the patience and resilience needed to persevere through difficult times. We know that with time, things will change, and we will be able to look back on this moment as something that is in the past. Another important aspect of recognizing that challenges are temporary is that it encourages us to focus on the present moment. In the midst of hardship, we often become fixated on the future, wondering when the pain will stop or when the struggle will end. While it's important to acknowledge the future, it's equally important to ground ourselves in the present. By focusing on what we can control now, we take steps toward resolving the issue, however small those steps may be. The awareness that this moment is fleeting allows us to be more mindful of how we engage with the present, reducing the impact of the stress that can come with focusing solely on the outcome. This understanding also teaches us the value of patience. In times of difficulty, we may feel like we should be doing more, achieving more, or moving faster. We may become frustrated with the pace of progress and wonder why things aren't changing more quickly. However, knowing that challenges are temporary helps us recognize that the pace of change is not always something we can control. We cannot rush the healing process or force the resolution of every problem. Sometimes it's necessary to simply ride out the storm, knowing that the temporary nature of the challenge will eventually bring us to calmer waters. Moreover, the realization that challenges are temporary helps us build resilience. The more we face and overcome adversity, the more we strengthen our ability to handle future difficulties. Each challenge we face teaches us something new about our own resilience and capacity to adapt. Over time, we come to understand that no matter how tough the situation may seem, we are capable of navigating through it. The awareness that challenges are temporary serves as a reminder that we have faced hardships before and emerged stronger, and we will do so again. The process of overcoming temporary challenges also allows us to grow in ways we couldn't have anticipated. Through these experiences, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, our priorities, and our values. Challenges force us to reevaluate what truly matters and to let go of things that are no longer serving us. By navigating through these challenges, we learn more about our strengths, our limits, and our capacity for change. The difficulties we face often become the greatest teachers, offering lessons that will continue to shape us long after the challenge itself has passed. At times, when facing a particularly tough challenge, we may feel as though we're stuck in an unending cycle of struggle. In these moments, it's crucial to remind ourselves that no matter how difficult things may seem, the situation is not permanent. Life has a way of evolving, and we too evolve with it. This evolution may not always happen as quickly or as neatly as we would like, but it's happening all the same. As long as we continue to move forward, even if that movement is slow, we are progressing. Challenges are not the defining moments of our lives. They are merely moments in time that come and go. What defines us is how we respond to these challenges. When we recognize that challenges are temporary, we give ourselves the freedom to face them with courage and resilience. We understand that this too shall pass and that we have the strength to persevere through whatever comes our way. By keeping this perspective in mind, we are better able to navigate through life's difficulties and emerge from them wiser, stronger, and more capable than we were before. Life is not always easy, and at times it may feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But struggle, difficulty, and hardship are not just unavoidable parts of life, they are the catalyst for growth and transformation. In fact, it's through our struggles that we often experience the most profound personal development. This growth does not happen in moments of ease or comfort, but through the trials and tribulations we face along the way. The challenges we encounter are not just obstacles in our path, but opportunities to evolve into stronger, more resilient versions of ourselves. The process of growth through struggle begins when we face a challenge head-on rather than avoiding or running from it. It's natural to want to sidestep difficulty, but it is in the moments of adversity that we truly discover who we are. The initial instinct when confronted with hardship is often fear or doubt. We question our ability to cope with the situation, wondering if we have the strength to handle it. But what we don't realize in the moment is that these very struggles are what build that strength. They test our limits and push us to our edge, where we find out what we're truly capable of achieving. When we face challenges, we are presented with an opportunity to dig deep and tap into reserves of resilience, determination, and courage that we may not even know we have. Every difficult situation forces us to adapt, to rethink our approach, and to stretch ourselves beyond our current capacities. The growth that comes from these experiences is not always immediately visible, and it may not always feel comfortable, but it is happening. Struggle forces us to confront our weaknesses and shortcomings, but it also gives us the tools to overcome them. In many ways, the struggle is the forge in which our character is shaped. Just as metal is strengthened by being hammered and heated, we are strengthened through the pressures we endure. Each challenge we face has the potential to shape us into a more capable and resilient individual. When we are confronted with adversity, we learn new ways of thinking, new strategies for coping, and new methods for overcoming obstacles. These lessons are invaluable, and they are born only out of the struggles we encounter. The discomfort we feel during difficult times is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced as part of the process. When we avoid struggles, we miss the chance to grow. We may seek comfort in the short term, but in the long run, it's the struggles that allow us to make lasting progress. Every struggle teaches us something about ourselves, about our strengths, our limitations, and our capacity to overcome. These lessons often come through trial and error, through failure, and through the process of trying and trying again. Success is not achieved by avoiding failure, but by learning from it and using it to fuel our continued efforts. It is important to understand that growth through struggle is not always linear. Some struggles may feel never-ending, and progress can seem slow or even non-existent, but this does not mean that growth isn't happening. Just because we cannot immediately see the results of our efforts doesn't mean that our struggles are in vain. Growth is a gradual process, and sometimes the changes that occur within us are not visible right away. It's easy to become discouraged when progress feels slow, but it is often in these moments of perseverance that the most profound transformations occur. Through struggle, we also learn to develop patience and humility. Struggles teach us that not everything can be achieved in a single step, and that sometimes we must wait for the fruits of our labor. They teach us to appreciate the journey rather than obsess over the destination. In a world that often values quick results and immediate gratification, struggle offers us the opportunity to slow down and learn the value of persistence and hard work. It reminds us that lasting success is built over time, and that the road to success is often filled with setbacks, failures, and unexpected detours. When we go through difficult times, we also learn the importance of self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we struggle, to believe that we should be doing better or achieving more. But it's important to remember that struggles are part of the human experience, and there is no shame in experiencing difficulty. By being kind to ourselves in our struggles, we allow room for growth and healing. Struggling doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. And by treating ourselves with compassion, we are better able to handle the challenges that come our way and to learn from them in a healthy, productive way. The most important thing to remember is that struggle is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced as a vital part of our personal development. The challenges we face help us refine our skills, develop new perspectives, and discover strengths we didn't know we had. These struggles, though difficult, are the training ground for the person we are becoming. Every challenge we overcome adds to the foundation of resilience and strength upon which we build our future successes. Growth through struggle is not just about achieving external success, it's about becoming the person we were meant to be. It's about evolving through adversity and learning to thrive in the face of difficulty. Our struggles do not define us, but how we respond to them shapes who we become. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to emerge from the experience as a more capable, confident, and resilient person. When we face challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or defeated. The instinct is to resist them, to wish they would go away or never have come in the first place. This is a natural reaction to difficulties because as human beings, we are wired to seek comfort and avoid pain. However, if we continue to view challenges through this lens of fear and frustration, we miss the greater opportunity they present. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, we can choose to see them as opportunities for growth, self-improvement, and learning. It's all about shifting our perspective and how we choose to respond when difficulties arise. The first step in this shift is recognizing that challenges are not personal attacks. They aren't there to punish us, but rather to push us beyond our limits, to stretch us in ways that allow for personal and professional development. When we change our viewpoint, we begin to understand that life is not just a series of smooth paths, but a journey that requires overcoming obstacles to reach greater heights. This change in perspective doesn't minimize the difficulty of the situation, but it allows us to see that there is purpose in what we face. Challenges often reveal our hidden strengths, talents, and potential that would have otherwise remained dormant. A simple yet profound way to shift our perspective is by asking ourselves empowering questions when we are faced with adversity. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, we can ask, what can I learn from this? Or how can I grow through this situation? These questions redirect our focus from the problem to the solution and help us engage with the challenge in a more constructive and proactive way. When we ask the right questions, we unlock our ability to not just endure the challenge, but to rise above it. Another important part of shifting our perspective is embracing the idea that failure is a natural and necessary part of the process. Society often teaches us that failure is something to be avoided at all costs, but in reality, failure is a stepping stone to success. It is through failure that we learn the most valuable lessons, develop resilience, and understand our true capabilities. A shift in perspective involves seeing failure as feedback rather than defeat. When we encounter setbacks, instead of beating ourselves up, we can ask, what did I learn from this? And how can I use it to move forward? This mindset allows us to reframe our challenges as opportunities for learning, not just obstacles to our success. The power of perspective comes from the realization that we have control over how we interpret events in our lives. We cannot always control the circumstances we find ourselves in, but we can control how we react to them. When we choose to see challenges as chances for growth, we begin to empower ourselves. We become less focused on the difficulty of the situation and more focused on the solutions and the potential for transformation. The challenge no longer feels like an insurmountable obstacle. It becomes a part of the process, something that moves us closer to our goals rather than further away. This shift is especially important in times of uncertainty. In moments when we face challenges that seem too large or too complex to handle, our perspective often determines whether we give up or push forward. The same challenge, when viewed through the lens of growth, becomes a call to action, a chance to develop new skills, or a chance to test our limits. When we embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, we tap into a deeper well of strength and resilience that we might not have known we possessed. The obstacles we encounter become markers on the path to something greater, a sign that we are pushing beyond the boundaries of our current state. A key component of shifting perspective is learning to let go of the need for perfection. Many of us are conditioned to think that we must succeed on the first try, or that we must have all the answers. But this perfectionist mindset can be paralyzing. It prevents us from taking risks and from learning through experience. Challenges, by their very nature, are not about being perfect. They are about learning, adjusting, and moving forward. Shifting our perspective means accepting that we don't need to have everything figured out right away. We are allowed to stumble, to make mistakes, and to take time to find our way. It's the effort and persistence that matter most, not an immediate flawless result. Once we begin to change how we see challenges, the weight they carry starts to lessen. We realize that we are not being tested by some external force, but rather that we are taking part in a personal journey of growth. The challenge itself may still be difficult, but our sense of agency and our ability to move through it with purpose and determination becomes stronger. When we choose to approach challenges with this new perspective, we become more open to the lessons they have to offer. The focus shifts from avoiding or escaping difficulties to embracing them as catalysts for personal transformation. By altering our perspective on challenges, we stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance. Instead, we see ourselves as active participants in our own growth and development. Challenges become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. With each challenge we face, we become more resilient, more capable, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever comes next. And in the end, the journey through challenges is what builds the strength and character that will serve us throughout our lives. Every challenge faced with the right perspective adds to the richness of our experience, shaping us into the person we are meant to become. Life is filled with challenges. Whether it's a personal struggle, a professional setback, or an unexpected turn of events, we all face obstacles. What we often overlook is that challenges are not only inevitable, but essential to our growth. They are part of the human experience, and no one is exempt from them. However, the key to overcoming them lies in how we choose to approach and handle these difficulties. It's not the challenges themselves that define our experience, but our attitude toward them. When challenges arise, it's natural to feel frustrated, defeated, or even hopeless. The initial reaction is often one of resistance, as we wish for things to go back to a more comfortable or familiar state. But instead of seeing challenges as something negative or something that holds us back, we need to shift our thinking. Challenges, in fact, are opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. They have the potential to unlock parts of us we never knew existed. One of the most powerful ways to change our relationship with challenges is by reframing how we view them. We often see them as roadblocks or insurmountable hurdles, something to avoid or escape. This mindset keeps us stuck in fear and anxiety, paralyzed by the very thought of what might go wrong. But when we view challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, we open ourselves up to the possibility of change. Every challenge is a lesson in disguise, waiting for us to take it on and grow from it. It's important to remember that no challenge lasts forever. The nature of life is that things change. Problems that seem insurmountable today often feel much smaller in the grand scheme of time. Challenges, no matter how difficult they appear at the moment, are temporary. In fact, it's this temporality that can help us keep our focus and our faith intact. When we recognize that the hardship we face now is not permanent, it allows us to approach it with a sense of hope and perseverance. The most trying times in life are not the ones that last forever, they are the ones that eventually come to an end. Another critical point is the fact that humans are adaptable. Our capacity to adjust and grow in response to life's challenges is remarkable. No matter the setback, humans have an incredible ability to adapt and find new ways to thrive. We've seen countless examples throughout history of individuals, communities, and societies overcoming immense challenges and emerging stronger. Whether it's overcoming personal loss, navigating financial difficulties, or adjusting to the sudden change of circumstances, we have a natural ability to evolve. The key is not to give up, but to lean into the discomfort of change, knowing that adaptation is part of the process. At the heart of overcoming challenges is effort, not perfection. Too often we become paralyzed by the idea that we need to get everything right or that failure is not an option. But the truth is, failure is a part of the journey. It's not the absence of failure that matters, but the persistence to keep going despite it. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that things must be perfect, but life rarely works that way. It's the effort, the willingness to try and continue trying, that leads to progress. The process of working through difficulties, even when we don't have all the answers, teaches us resilience and builds our character. When faced with challenges, one of the most important steps is to stop focusing on what went wrong and instead focus on how we can move forward. In times of difficulty, it's easy to get stuck in the past, replaying mistakes and focusing on what we could have done differently. However, this only holds us back. The more we focus on solutions and forward thinking, the more empowered we become. Challenges are opportunities to step into the unknown, to innovate, and to find new ways of achieving our goals. It's the attitude we bring to these situations that makes all the difference. Ultimately, our attitude toward challenges has the power to transform them. Rather than seeing them as setbacks, we can start viewing them as stepping stones. Every challenge is a chance to learn something new, to test our resilience, and to strengthen our capacity for perseverance. It's about seeing the growth in the process, not just the end result. When we embrace challenges with this mindset, we stop seeing them as obstacles and start seeing them as catalysts for change. They become the driving force behind our personal development, shaping us into more resourceful, confident, and capable individuals. Embracing challenges doesn't mean that we will never face difficulties or moments of doubt. Rather, it means we are equipped to handle them with a new perspective. By accepting that challenges are inevitable and by choosing to face them with an attitude of openness, adaptability, and determination, we position ourselves to emerge from each one stronger and more capable than before. The next time a challenge arises, remember that it is not something to fear, but something to embrace, learn from, and grow through. Challenges, after all, are the stepping stones on the path to success, wisdom, and personal fulfillment.